Hey guys, it's been a while since I've made any knife related videos or given you guys any shop updates. I do want to apologize for that. I know I've received several new subscribers since my last video, and I just haven't had much content to share with you guys. I also want to apologize to my longtime subscribers. Normally I like to do at least 1 or 2 videos a month, if not more than that, depending on what I got going on. And the truth of the matter is I just haven't had a whole lot of time to get out here and work on anything. Seems like I've got well over a dozen projects going on, but unfortunately I really haven't had too much of a chance to work on even 1 or 2 of those with work and family obligations, and just being a part-time maker, the knife making side of things just kind of fell to the back burner. But that being said, I am going to try to get out here in the shop a couple times this week, and I've had just a little bit of time over the last couple weeks to be working on a couple of projects. I wanted to show those to you on this video, as well as, if I have some time, go over some future projects and a little bit of what I was working on tonight as well. But first thing I'm going to show you, this small Bowie knife I've been working on. Several firsts are represented in this knife for me. It is my first natural handle material that I've ever used. Normally I use man-made or synthetic materials such as G10, micarta, carbon fiber, or even diamond wood, which somewhat approaches a more natural material in that it contains wood, but there's still a lot of man-made process involved in that. So this is my first natural material, which is a deer antler that was found off of a shed antler, or cut from a shed antler, I should say, found by a buddy of mine at work who wanted me to make a knife using some of it. Got some extra from those sheds laying there. But another first for me is that this is my first non-full tang knife, in that it's a stick tang. It is not a full through stick tang, although I try to give somewhat of an illusion of that with a butt plate and the screw on the end. But along with that is also my first slotted guard and my first soldered guard. And definitely a little bit of a learning curve there. It didn't come out too bad for my first soldering job. I do have some experience with electrical and electronic soldering, as well as brazing from some plumbing and similar experiences I've had. So it wasn't too out of my comfort zone, but there's still a little bit of a curve there in making that look real nice. Normally with electronics and plumbing, you're really not too worried about getting a real nice even flow. You just want everything sealed up or with full contact. So it is my first soldered and slotted guard. Like I said, first stick tang. First more traditional Bowie design. And this will actually be my first leather sheathed knife. I do have some tools, materials, and dies for that, and that in and of itself will probably be, in my opinion right now, one of the more challenging aspects of this project. Definitely have a lot of respect for those makers who do leather work, especially the more ornate or embellished work, and even those of you who have made it a full-time hobby. Definitely can get simple all the way to extremely complex, and I'm probably going to try to lean more towards the former and make a simple sheath for this, as I think this is a simple knife. It's meant to be a user, so I won't try to get too crazy on my first sheath, but definitely interested to see how that goes. Just to show the knife in hand. A little more polishing and maybe some grinding to do on the blade. Still got to sharpen it. And then, of course, do the sheath. But overall, very happy with how things are coming along. Moving on to another first. I'm working on my first straight razor. This is a full hollow ground 8/8 razor, which means it's 1 inch wide. And just give some quick dimensions here. It's about 3.5-inch cutting length, and we'll say about 6.5 inches overall. And it may be hard to get a good shot of how thin this is. We're looking at an average of about 15 thousandths right now. I may try to take that down just a little thinner before I try to sharpen it. And that in and of itself I think will be a little bit of a challenge as well. Then I need to round the spine off a little bit better, shape the tail, and then of course pin it to the handles. Got some black and green G10 here. Probably end up painting the handles. I'll need to make a wedge for the bottom portion, and I haven't decided. I may even put a mosaic pin in here in the middle. Mosaic pin rather, somewhat of a blade stop, but still kind of toying with that idea. But all in all, coming along very nicely, and so far very optimistic about that project as well. And then real quickly before I run out of room, I'll just show you some of the projects I'm finally getting around to on the bench. These are all new projects. There's a personal knife in here that I may make for myself to use. If I don't end up selling it, is what normally happens. Another patch knife or two for some people at work. And this is really more of a large patch knife design. Very similar curves and lines. A guy at work ordered a couple of these. And then I'm going to do a couple kitchen knives. These are just the initial preheat treat rough grindings. Just to remove a little bit of material before I fully harden them and temper them. This is kind of my take on a mini chopper, almost a Santoku style design, or a mini cleaver. And you can see how fast 1095 starts to rust. I actually just set that on the bench probably not 10 minutes ago. So definitely going to need to wipe these down and oil them. Then I got 3 more military style knives. And got in such a rush I actually forgot to bevel the other sides. So I'll definitely be doing that before I go in tonight. And then all these will be ready for heat treat and tempering. Most of which I'll probably try to knock out tomorrow. I'm really going to try to spend a few hours in the shop and get some of these to finished dimensions and polishing, and maybe ready for handles. So those are kind of the main projects I'm working on. I'll show you guys some drawings I've been working on. I think after I get done with this run of fixed blades and that straight razor, I'll maybe get back into trying some slip joints. This one's inspired by Tony Bose back pocket folder. Just kind of eyeballed it, drew out how I thought the knife looked. So I'll be making some templates for that. Here's a gun stock folder design I kind of drew up. Swell end jackknife, which is something I've been wanting for myself for quite some time. Seems like the swell end jacks are all but faded out. I don't know that anybody really makes any that aren't extremely expensive nowadays. I know I haven't seen one from Case in quite a while. Another copy of the gun stock folder, Bose folder. And this one, similar to the swell end jack, this is more going to be a large Barlow. Another thing I've been looking for quite some time is something kind of in between the Granddaddy Barlow, which I have a scale from here, and standard size Barlow, which is traditionally about 3.5 inches. So that'll be kind of a halfway point. But about out of tape now. Hope you guys enjoyed the update. Definitely look forward to more videos. Still much more to come. Thanks for watching, guys.